Hi Gemini, welcome to your August reading. And we definitely have a lot going on this month. Your ruling planet is going retrograde, and let me tell you, I can already feel the effects of that with the typical computer problems. Like all of a sudden, it's not even retrograde yet, but sometimes these things get an early start. The energy is definitely here already. Yeah, my computer is already having like recording problems and things like that. So we're just gonna cross our fingers with light and love, and keep the vibrations steady. And this is the Gemini we're talking about here. So I don't think we're gonna have any problems. And this was yesterday, but yeah, let's get started and start to talk about some of the things happening for you in August, Gemini. So there's gonna be a full moon on the 7th, August 7th, and this is in your ninth house, Gemini. Very, very, very important. This is your opposite house. So I noticed that right off the bat when I was taking notes for you. And this has to do with higher thinking, philosophy, the things like that, which you're probably very familiar with your opposite sign, Sagittarius. But this is coming for you, Gemini. So this may be some balance going on for you, learning a little bit more to be like your opposite rather than the Gemini, which is the more lower ways of thinking. And in Sagittarius, I've heard astrologers refer to Sag and Gemini, as the lower and the higher brain. But you are ruled by Mercury, Gemini. And we have your ruling planet going retrograde in your fourth and third house because it's retrograding in Virgo at first, but towards the end of the month it's going to go back into Leo, which is your third house, but Virgo is your fourth house. So yeah, and we also have a total eclipse called some people are calling it the Grand American Eclipse because you're supposed to be able to see it worldwide, and that is happening in Leo, which is your third house. So much going on. We have quite some time to talk today. I've decided to make the August videos about 30 minutes for everyone because it's quite impossible to go over all these aspects and get clear messages from spirit and try to rush or cut things short. So I did the Aries video, it wound up being about 30 minutes. So that's what we have, Gemini. Maybe it might go over. I'm here to give you the messages from spirit. So the best way I think that we should do this, just so like it can be very clear and get the messages across, because that's my main goal, is just to get clear, accurate, relatable messages for the signs. So I'm gonna split this up, see what the cards come out, see what messages I feel, because I don't over plan these things. I just kind of channel and freestyle. So, but what I want to start this out with, Gemini, is what's happening first, which is the full moon on the August 7th. That'll be the first thing happening. Wow, things coming up already for you. So, what can we tell Gemini for this ninth house moon? This Aquarius ninth house moon for Gemini. Any messages for Gemini for this Aquarius ninth house moon on August 7th? Messages for Gemini, the twins. Mutable air sign messages for Gemini, the twins, August 7th. Oh, had some stuff try to come out there. Wasn't clear enough though. Ooh, lots of messages for you, Gemini. Spirit, could we hone in on very, very important messages, very clear messages for Gemini, the twins. What could I tell Gemini? Any messages, guidance, advice for Gemini? Okay, Gemini, I'm going to give this one more shuffle, but I'm feeling that my cards are pretty flighty, and it's probably because you're an air sign. And what I'm noticing when I do these videos, see, there's so many messages coming out, like really thick decks trying to come out. And that just means that there's a lot Spirit wants to tell you, Gemini, and I'm going to do my best. As soon as I said Gemini, your card flew out. That was so cool. All right, I do believe that was it for the first aspect. So let's tune in here for Gemini. Whew, my nose would start running. Everything's a sign to me. Like if my nose runs or anything like that, it always makes me think there's a sign. Okay, so these cards came out when we honed in on the energy happening on the 7th. In Gemini, the first card that comes out is the Two of Pentacles. So I like to think of this as a balancing act, you know, with the infinity sign around the man juggling. There's so many meanings to this card, so many different ways that you can interpret it. But it's also the twin flame card. So it's weird that this twin energy is coming up for you. And I definitely hear some twin messages for you, Gemini. But to apply this to this ninth house moon, you know, I think it's going to be a balancing of your subconscious. It could be a balancing of your higher communications. Maybe you and Sag will be having some balanced communications, because this card is about the ups and downs, you know, the highs and lows. And that's interesting because in the beginning of this video I mentioned that Sagittarius and Gemini represent the high and the low of our mental, of our communication skills, you know. So yes, this is a definitely balance and infinity coming to you. So, you know, just to heed my own intuition on this, Gemini, I do feel like in August, around this time of this full moon in Aquarius, Aquarius is a fixed air sign, you know, so they're very stable and they're very balanced. And this card is a very fixed and stable, balanced card as well, you know, with the infinity and you know, it's kind of a balance thing. 2 Pentacles. So I think that speaks to Gemini's intellect, you know, with it being an air sign moon. I believe your intellect will be more infinite. You know, I know for sure with the ninth house moon, you guys will be getting cosmic downloads from the universe. You will be, your thoughts will be soaring high is what I hear. You'll definitely be channeling some higher thoughts from different galaxies, Gemini. Like, you can't escape a ninth house moon, you know. Like, ninth house is like one of my favorite houses on the wheel. You know, I like all the houses, but the ninth house is the house of philosophy, and it's the house of Sagittarius. It's like a portal. You and Gemini, I mean, you and Sagittarius are the portals. You guys make a portal on the zodiac wheel. So that's very intense energies. So this is Gemini going through ninth house energy, and I do believe that there will be balance there. But don't forget about the twin flame aspect, because there's other cards here that kind of go with that. But Gemini, very, very, very major arcana, well, very, very special card showing up for you, the Judgment card. So Gemini, with this ninth house moon, you will feel like there's a calling for you. You guys might have literal angels in other realms calling to you for you to do something. The Judgment card speaks to, you see these angels rising up above their graves, being called by this trumpet and by this angel. So I sense very, very, very important energy for Gemini around the time of this moon. I mean, honestly, for this to come up at the 2 of Pentacles. So these are the cards that I have down here for you, Gemini. You have I don't know if you can see it very well, but I'm on a laptop, so it's kind of hard for me to change the camera down. So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the Judgment card, and the Lovers card. So for 2 twin energies, I'm going to bring it back up now, but I just wanted you to see that. This is very interesting to me because there's 2 twin aspects forming here, and the Judgment card is right in the middle. So I do believe that you might even be linking up with someone, I hear. Linking up with an opposite. So for some Geminis, it may be a ninth house Sagittarius, because that is your polar opposite. But it's so interesting. And it might not be just one person, Gemini, but you might be surrounded by people that feel like a twin aspects with you. This moon is going to be very, very important for you. Quite literally, around the full moon, you will be called to do something. And I don't want you to get afraid of the Judgment card, like you're going to be judged, but that might be so, Gemini, when your card actually comes up with the Judgment card. I mean, and look at both of these cards. They both have angels coming from the sky. Do you see that? They both have angels coming right from the sky. So I believe Gemini will be visited by angels this month. And I do mean that literally. Like, there will be energies and like certain energies that come from above, I want to say. Especially with your card showing up here, Gemini, because it directly speaks to your energy. And I definitely feel the sun. The sun is sticking out to me in your card this month, probably because it's Leo season and Leo is ruled by the sun. So with this Leo energy, you know, with the North Node there and the sun there now and it being Leo season, I do believe that the divine is definitely gaining power. I mean, I really can't stop looking at these 2 angel figures. So I'm compelled to, and there's clouds. They're coming out of the clouds in both of these pictures. And it feels a very like prophetic, Gemini. Some of you may be receiving prophetic messages around this moon. So on August 7th, when this moon is full in Aquarius, I would definitely engage in some meditation, and I would definitely do some writing. Any messages that you receive, Gemini, they're for you. And you may receive messages for other people too, I'm hearing. But you're going to be feeling more yourself. Like, this is so interesting for you, Gemini, for this Two of Pentacles to be showing up, and this Judgment card in the middle, and then you, the Lovers card. So honestly, just to stray a little bit away from Lovers card being your card, Gemini, it also signifies twin flame unions, which you have the twin flame card with the Two of Pentacles as well. So there may be an otherworldly twin flame that you're communicating with. Like, if some of you Geminis feel like you're communicating with someone from another world, or a partner that may have passed on, or maybe that you have met in a past life, these energies are going to be so adamant around this time. Like, I know you're ruled by Mercury, Gemini, but it doesn't seem like it's going to make very logical sense. You know, this is very otherworldly. I can feel your energy right now, like the otherworldly energy that's going to take place. I just feel that something major is coming for you, and you're going to know, like, all of a sudden, like an aha moment, you know, after these angels visit you. I just feel like you're going to know things that you didn't know for sure before. So there is an answer that's going to be given to Gemini. And it was so weird that I was getting ready to say that you have to be patient, because this is the card that was on the bottom of my deck, and I do want to show you that. The Seven of Pentacles. And this card is a very patient card. You see this man who comes out to his garden every day. So this also reflects consistency and dedication to a job. And you know, this is a pentacle energy, so it's focusing on things that you value. This man is very focused on what he values and on his pentacles. So Gemini, you will be feeling like this. I do think that this relates to the moon, you know, because I felt compelled. So you might be, you know, this isn't literal. I think you may be feeling like this man, though, like observing what it is that you value, any projects that you've been doing, any ideas or creative thought, something that you have put a lot of effort into, I'm hearing. Because this man, you know, he understands the way that nature works, and he understands what he needs to do in order to get the job done. You know, like, he comes out here and he weeds and he hoes, and he knows to faithfully come out here every day. These were not always pentacles. One thing I always realize when I see the Seven of Pentacles is that I feel this is a farmer, like a dedicated spiritual farmer that has planted the seeds, whatever seeds. There's so many Geminis out there listening to this. Whatever you feel that you have planted, and I do feel that this have been over the last 7 months, I want to say, and that just came to me randomly. Like, I just kind of heard some say, yeah, over the last 7 months, Gemini has been planning some things, you know. So think about what you've been planning over the last 7 months and apply that to this consistent attitude. This is a very faithful spiritual worker, you know. And as far as, you know, what comes to fruition, Gemini, that is what will be revealed to you around the Aquarius moon. I definitely feel that. And I do feel like in this spread that the Seven of Pentacles was talking about something that's going to grow because of these two energies. Like, these two energies may also be planning something within you. Now, I'm just gonna hone in here just for a minute to see if there's anything else that Spirit wants to say to Gemini. These seem very important cards. I definitely feel a balanced energy. Spirit is honing in on that these cards showed themselves to Gemini to reveal the balance that is going to come to you as a mutable sign, Gemini. I know you already feel dual. I mean, this is your card, so you have the masculine and the feminine energy, and you guys are also very godly, or in other world, like, you know, like this figure, like angelic, I want to say, just otherworldly. But the light is coming in for you guys, and there's, you know, the only thing, it's like I can't even I don't even know if I've mentioned this yet, you guys, but I have Lilith and Gemini, and I just want to tell you guys that during the Gemini videos, like if I seem kind of blocked, or like, I know I feel blocked, and I'm just kind of admitting that to you right now, is that I don't know, Lilith likes to play games with me. I'm personal with my Lilith. People say that Lilith is like a bad thing or whatever, but me and my Lilith have a very personal relationship. She shows me what light and dark is, but it can be hard to talk to Gemini sons because of that. A lot of Geminis don't like me because they can sense my Lilith, and it makes so much sense. But also, I feel like this is such a divine message that it could be my Lilith blocking me, or it could also be that sometimes I sense energies that I can only feel, and that it's not really my place to present them with words. Like, it's like more so I feel that you guys will know what I mean when you see these cards. So, we're going to move on here because I really want to get to the Mercury retrograde for you guys. I think that will be very important. But I will say that I feel that this is a very divine union taking place, whether it's with you and another person, you and an otherworldly figure, you and the divine, you and creator, you and the universe. It just is going to take patience. I think this is going to get revealed to you on the full moon. And that's weird. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's the 7 of Pentacles, and the full moon's on the 7th. Just made that connection there. So there's something with the number 7 also, because I feel some luck coming in. I feel like I can feel your magic around this time, Gemini. You guys have been developing as air signs, but this is otherworldly. Just know that you have the twin energy in the Judgment card. The Judgment card is the Judgment and the Lover's card. For sure, for sure, for sure. You're being called, Gemini, and this is for you guys. In your heart. You can't really interfere with the divine and other people. Like, that's the interesting thing about a tarot reader, is that I can briefly explain the messages, but there's some messages that I come across that I can literally feel that it's almost not my territory to cross into, if that makes sense. It sounds like a cop-out, but I promise you, it's just the energy that I feel. A very, very, very divine energy. That was the Emperor card. Okay, so we're going to move on to Mercury going retrograde for Gemini. So what cards can come out for... Ooh. Well, those cards came out. I'm just going to keep those because, and it does seem very light for you, Gemini. So this Mercury retrograde, since it's your ruling planet, going retrograde in your 3rd-ish, 4th-ish house, there is the 10 of Cups here for you, Gemini. And the 10 of Cups is being shared. So for some of you, this is an actual relationship. You may be, and it doesn't matter the gender, you're just reuniting with somebody, sharing this 10 of Cups with. I love these cards. I don't think I've ever had these cards come out together, but this is amazing. The message is so clear, unlike the one before. This is basically, completion. Like, let's just look at the 10 of Cups here. The 10 of Cups is a completion energy. Any 10. There's not an 11 of Cups. This is the most divine it's going to get. Like, these people are happy. This rainbow representing their chakras aligned. There's these people so happy, just like, welcome to our house. Like, we just moved to this home. And it may be that, Gemini. You may actually be moving with this 4th house energy. And Mercury is also going to retrograde a little bit in your 3rd house. And that is you, Gemini. Like, Leo is your 3rd house. So a lot of 3rd house energy has been happening for you, and that is you, the house of communication. So there may be new ways that you find to communicate, and because of that, you may communicate yourself right into a harmonious situation like this. And there's a lot of twin energy here for you. It's amazing, because what I know about this card is that these two people are actually younger versions. You see the harmony there? There's this young energy, which is Leo, so you'll be feeling childlike, Gemini. I hear that you're doing more things that make you happy. This is a fulfillment card. Like, I just love the 10 of Cups. It's so happy, and just, it's like these people don't need for anything. They don't want for anything. And for that to come out with the 2 of Cups, it's just a union. So this could be, because when I think of Geminis, sometimes I literally refer to you guys as 2 people. Like, if I'm talking to a Gemini, I'll be like, well, what are you guys doing? Like, well, you guys better calm down, even if it's just one person, because I just love to see you as twins. So this may be, the 2 of Cups I'm talking about here. This could be, You with a partner, or it could be some of you single Geminis actually reuniting with your twin. And you know, when I just said that, it kind of took me back to the cards I just had with the Judgment. Gemini, I really feel like for some of you, for most of you, you are going to be reuniting with your twin. You know, like, I'm not a Gemini, so I'm not sure what it means to be a twin, but if I was a Gemini, I know that I would be really, really interested in the other half of me. I would be really, really interested in what it means to be a dual sign. Because Gemini, you know, you're the only dual sign with two human figures representing. Like, you have Pisces, we're two fish, you know, and then Libra isn't alive at all. They're two scales. Like, it's not an alive, breathing thing. But Gemini, you are two humans. Like, you're two, and I've heard Gemini say that, like, I'm like really human, you know, like everyone else on the zodiac wheel isn't human, but Gemini is like the only human. And it's probably because of that energy that you have. But I just want you to let this set in, Gemini, that even if this is fulfillment for you or fulfillment with another person, you definitely have some luck and light coming in for you. The Ten of Cups is showing itself for you. And it's interesting that that would come up for a Mercury retrograde, because most people are all crazy about, you know, oh, my electronics, and it's very real. That stuff is very real. But, you know, a lot of people focus on the negative aspects of Mercury retrograde. But as I've gotten more into astrology, you know, I've realized that Mercury retrogrades, or any planet retrograde for that matter, it happens so that we can go over things that we didn't finish in the past. So Mercury is what I like to call as a blast from the past. So there may be some things, Gemini, that, you know, you obviously there's some things that you didn't have in the past, like this harmonious energy. Maybe you didn't have a twin flame energy or soulmate energy, or maybe you weren't in tune with the other half of you. But I definitely feel a very interesting feeling about that, about you and your twin. You know, not so much you and a person like your boyfriend or your girlfriend or a best friend or something like that. I really feel, Gemini, maybe that's what was, like, I feel like there was an evil energy, maybe even my own Lilith, trying to keep me from telling you guys that. But I'm going to tell you this, like, you're going to reunite with your twin in dreams, in a different realm. Like, I think you'll just feel more complete. Like, after the full moon, like, hit me a message, you guys, and let me know if this relates to you. But I just feel like Gemini is getting that fulfillment, which is probably what the Ten of Cups was showing. You know, that's fulfillment. You know, I was saying that. So for Gemini, it's like you guys feel you always feel like this part of you is missing because you're two people. And some Geminis always feel, you know, complete because of that. But for the Geminis out there that feel like they've lost their twin, or whether it be a soulmate twin or the actual twin that exists within you in the universe, that is coming in for you. And this is going to be a very new you. This is going to be a completed, fulfilled version of you. And you might feel an actual feeling in your heart chakra because it's Leo season. You might feel actually filled up, or like there's someone present with you. But I don't want you to worry about that, because, you know, maybe the Judgment card was talking about your other twin being resurrected. Maybe your energies are being resurrected together. I just feel like this is a ton of energy coming in for Gemini, and the universe has orchestrated it for you and your other twin. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that this is for the eclipse, because the moon card popped out, Gemini, and this is the Pisces card, but I always try to, like, not make it all about Pisces, even though I don't want to, you know, skip over the fact that maybe some of you Geminis are actually with a Pisces. But besides that, Gemini, if you're not with a Pisces and if that doesn't relate to you, then this is actually speaking of the moon. Could be speaking of the Aquarius moon, the full moon on the 7th, or it could be speaking to the eclipse that's happening. And I'm gonna apply this to the eclipse. But this is the moon card. It's a very oh yes, definitely the eclipse. You see the sun and the moon hidden in it? Yes, this is a symbol for the eclipse coming up, Gemini. And it's another balanced twin energy. I see the pillars, and I know that the pillars represent the normal life that people want us to walk. Oh, get a job, work minimum wage, like pay your rent. But these animals are howling and looking up to their intuition, and they're going to walk the path right in the middle. Not this path, not this path. These are very stone cold figures. So, you know, you're just going to follow an intuitive path, Gemini. And no wonder, you know, that's where you're going to find that twin energy. That's where you're going to find these prophetic messages coming to you. Very psychic energy for Gemini around this time. Totally makes sense. And you have a lot of intuitive energy trying to speak to you. Because when I see the Page of Cups, this is a symbol for me that this man's subconscious, and this is another subconscious card. So you have fish energy, you have underwater energy, which is aquatic spirituality, like a lot of aquatic spirituality for you, Gemini. It's cleansing you, it's submerging you, and you're gonna see things a little bit differently. Like with the Page of Cups, this man was just chilling, he's casually getting ready to take a drink of his cup, and then a fish pops out. And what the fish tells the man depends on the individual. So this is you, Gemini, and this is a fishy friend, like a Pisces or a Cancer or a Scorpio, or maybe a watery side of you. Some of you Geminis may have water in your chart, but you definitely have information coming to you from other realms, because Pisces and Cancers and Scorpios, water isn't, we have an underwater realm. There's a whole world that exists, spiritually under the sea. And, as an air sign, you're usually above that. Like I can feel that there's a lot of air above the water. So this is air and water coming together, whatever that may mean for some of you. And there's going to be a conversation that takes place. This is what this card is. This is what it means to me, is that there's going to be a conversation that takes place around this eclipse, around this full moon in August. In August, Gemini, there's going to be a conversation that takes place. It may be a conversation with your twin. I'm really feeling you guys reuniting with your spiritual twins. Because this is like, it's symbolic. Like I feel like this fish is that twin, maybe you reunite with the twin for a short period of time. And when you find this other half of yourself, you guys are going to speak to each other. It could be that, it could be a friend, but you're going to have a conversation, whether it be with your other half or yourself, Gemini. I do feel this water energy coming in. There's going to be a conversation that takes place in a subconscious realm. In your dreams, in your mind during meditation, but it's a very subconscious energy. The moon is bringing this to you. And I should have listened to my intuition, because I've seen these cards before at the bottom of my deck, and I thought that they applied to you, Gemini, but I wasn't sure, so I just gave it a shuffle. But Spirit is the real MVP, and they came out again. So this is the Six of Pentacles. So you had the Seven of Pentacles. So I do see that it starts off as the Seven of Pentacles, and it's not necessarily, spiritual step backs aren't necessarily step backs, like you're losing something. It just shows, it correlates with each other. I love when cards, like if I get the Five of something and then the Six of something, I know that that's meant to be. So we have the Six of Pentacles here now instead of the Seven of Pentacles. So you were out in your garden, seeing all that you've grown, Gemini. You've seen what all has come to fruition and what has blossomed in your life, right? And now, because of that, even though this is before that card, this energy, because of what you look out and what you see, Gemini, you're going to know what it is that you can give and take. Because this is a balancing energy. So critical that this came up with this card, because there is a balancing of your finances that need to take place. And this eclipse is happening in your third house. So with Gemini, you guys do value communication, because you are the third house, so you represent the way that we communicate. And then we have Mercury going retrograde. So I think what it means for Gemini, why all this twin energy is coming up, because Mercury is going retrograde, and any retrograde is going to affect Virgo and Gemini. I think the energy is getting intense. It's getting so intense that the other realms are sending in the twin for Gemini. Like send the twins in for Gemini to make them complete, because it's time. So you're getting all this subliminal messaging and all this subconscious spiritual guidance from these twins of yours. And that's why you're going to be feeling balanced. All these cards, like it's just balance. And I knew that. Like when I first started reading for you, I could feel this balancing of an energy, and I was trying to make sense of it, but I felt blocked. And it's not my Lilith, it's just that I had to keep dealing the cards, because now it makes a lot more sense. Definitely balance. Like you can take a look, he has a balance scale, and this is a Libra card. So this is a cardinal air energy, you guys, and I didn't even make that connection. Like Libra is your cardinal air lieutenant. Like me, Cancer is my cardinal water. So for the cardinal air sign to show up for you, I think that this third house energy is actually going to ignite, like, of course, like if your twin comes back in, Gemini, spiritually, you're going to be able to communicate better, because some of you Geminis may have throat chakra issues because you haven't found that twin energy for you. You are stronger. Like, every Gemini out there has a spiritual twin, and you are stronger with your spiritual twin, and that twin is stronger with you. You know, like, it goes back as far as Zeus, when I believe that humans were born with four arms and two heads, but we got too powerful, so Zeus separated us, and now we spend our lives here finding our twin. Gemini is kind of a loophole to that, because you guys are that spiritually, you know. You guys are the Lover's card, so you already are born with a twin flame. It's just some of you have difficulties communicating with that side of you. But don't worry, because justice is coming in, and this is a very intellectual energy, balancing things out, being able to make decisions. So Gemini, I could barely, that was not my territory. This is not my territory, but I am a dual sign. So I do understand, you know, the duality. You know, and Pisces showed itself to you, the moon card, which is another dual sign. You know, you have the dog and the wolf, and you have the little crayfish. So there's definitely some energy coming in for you, Gemini, that is very, very balanced. And I feel like justice is coming for you. There may be even a Libra energy, but you guys are going to be, as soon as these twins come in for you and you reunite, you're going to be put on this throne, you know, of justice. And you're going to be able to communicate, not necessarily like a mutable air sign, but like that cardinal air that you've been needing, you know. And this is definitely going to bring in some justice for you. And if any of you have been feeling like this, I feel like this is at the bottom of the deck, because this is the energy on the way out. So if any of you have been feeling trapped or stuck or lost or cold and, you know, confused and misunderstood, that's why you're taking this journey inwards, Gemini. That's why you're on your way to finding your twin, and that is so exciting. This is subconscious. And after you do this subconscious work with these moons, you're going to be such a balanced person, Gemini. Like, these cards are just so amazing that they came out for you. Your finances may even be balanced. What you value may be balanced, you know, because Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is value, Taurus is value. But I definitely see some balance. It just was a great reading, Gemini. It really was. I'm happy that Mercury retrograde wasn't, like, coming in real tough for you, you know. And I mean, I didn't expect that because it's your ruling planet, so I really hope that this helped you guys. I'm always excited to do the Gemini video, and so is my Lilith. So yeah, and there's definitely new beginnings coming for you guys. I see that. New beginnings in work, and Ten of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups. You guys are on a ball, you know, with your emotions and as far as your values and things like that. So yeah, I really hope that this helped. We have a very busy month, and I'm doing my best to get these messages across to you guys, and I really enjoy doing this. So feel free to hit me a message below, hit a comment. You can hit me up on Facebook. I'm Braylon. My name's Braylon Janae Caldwell on there, or Pisces Priestess on Twitter and Instagram too. Because I would love to pull. I don't charge, you know. I could pull some cards for you guys additionally if you hit me up, just in case any of those messages you need a little bit of clarification on, okay? I would love, love, love to further dive into those messages with the permission of a fellow Gemini. So, alright guys, enjoy that Mercury retrograde, going back into the past and perhaps discovering a twin flame of yours. And we'll talk more in Virgo season.